In this video, we're going to install the front and rear mud flaps on a Volvo XC90. And this is a 2023, and I did buy these parts from the dealer because I was struggling a little bit to look them up, so it was kind of weird. That's my name on there, so I just blacked it out. So for the front, we're looking at 314-63574. So that's the front, and it does not come with any hardware. We'll look at the instructions. I think we reused what's on the vehicle. For the rear, we are looking at 316-64101. Again, I took my name off of there, and it does come with hardware. So there's the little plastic bag, and it has a few little screws in there, and we'll look at that. For the Volvo front, there are two sets of instructions. So there's a set of instructions if you have the body side kit, and there's a set of instructions if you don't. So I wrote the part number on here. They show a different part number. I'm not going to get into all that. Here's the instruction number. You know, you're just going to have to search the web. I looked up installation of parts. I did a lot on a 2007 S80 and a couple on a 2018 S90, and it kind of floats around a little bit as opposed to like going to Volvo's official website and hunting down the instructions. So you're just going to have to do like a Google search if you want these instructions. And I think they call them splash guards when you do your search. So, you know, if you do Volvo splash guard installation instructions and maybe put the part number in there, you know, the part number you have, not this one, it'll pop up for you. I mean, I had no trouble finding the XC90, you know, which is common, very, very common vehicle. So anyway, let's move on. So for the rear, the instructions, again, I was able to find them. They listed them, you know, instruction number if you want to freeze frame it and look it up, just like the front. And my part number, I wrote it down here because it's different from the part number here. And I read all through it. I know I'm a guy, I'm not supposed to do that. But anyway, I read all through it, and I did not find the part number that they gave me for this vehicle on these instructions, but these are the instructions listed for this vehicle. So, hey, what do I know? Now, both instructions for the front and rear show screws in here. However, the front doesn't have any. I haven't opened up the package yet, but I'll look through it. And I haven't seen any, but we can reuse what we have, and I have plenty of body panel screws, or if it's threaded screws or whatever, no problem for me. All right, here's your standard stuff in the instructions. I only see yellow and cayenne, which yellow is it's not fully removed and used for attachments that are to be removed. So if you look on the other page, see that the tire is yellow and the screws are magenta, so they're removed. And this is the front instructions. So it says, you know, clean it up, install it, screw it on. Seems pretty easy. Rear, remove it, clean it up, install it. Pretty easy. I thought I saw somewhere where it said turning the wheel helps. That might have been a written instruction. Oh yeah, Duh, where the yellow is. Words. Turn the wheel inwards. Alright, we're going to do the front first, and I'm going to turn the wheel. So I'm doing the left front, so I'm going to turn the wheel like I'm turning to the left to push the edge here in. Alright, my wheel's not yellow, but it's now turned in. Oh, I can see all 3 screws. Let me get in there. Alright, the instructions say remove the screws. That's pretty easy. What I got, a T25. Yeah, and it says right here, T25, so it looks good to me. And it says these are not reused, but I didn't get any new ones in the bag, so either the guy at the factory gypped me, or so I'm going to have to write to Volvo, tell them their quality control department is slacking off on the job. So I'm going to reuse them. So it says take it off, clean it up, install it. So let's see if it's that easy. Gosh, I don't know why you can't reuse them. They're metal. It's not like they're plastic and could bust off or anything. Alright, I'm going to clean it off because the car is no longer a virgin. We took it on a trip, about 500 miles in each direction, so I got 1,000 miles on the odometer. And in case you didn't know, once you drive off the lot, it devaluates by 10 grand or so. Okay, I was trying to install the wrong one. I was wondering why it didn't fit. I thought, oh crap, they gave me the wrong one. But it does say left hand. I'm working on the left side. The other one says right hand. That goes on the passenger side for us Americans. And of course, you know, it's black on black, so you can read it really well. Alright, well, I really don't see any issues. I mean, it just goes right on there, and I can see the green receiving pins in there, and I'll just put the screws in. That's easy peasy. A little bit more cleaning. Typically, when I screw into plastic slots, especially with metal screws, I don't go above 6. Typically 4 is good enough. So I'm not going to stick my face in front of the camera. Hang on a second. There we go. I'll start number 2 and 3, and once they're all started, I'll screw them down. All right, that was ridiculously easy. A lot better than the S90 as I recall. I have to watch that video again. Watch my videos! Now these do say Volvo on them, but I'm not going to highlight them. I did some engine detailing videos where I color that in, you know, like I'd use some white paint, but I'm not going to do that. This is on the inside anyway, so, you know, I don't think it's a big deal. Alright, I turned the wheel, ready to do the other side. Also made sure there's clearance. There's, you know, didn't hit it. Alright, let me do the other side and then I'll show you the rear. Okay, fun stuff. Remember how I was bitching about the screws weren't in the front? I'll get a load of this. So here's the front wheel. See, because it's yellow. Anyway, it's turned in. It says to remove the screws, the part is not to be reused. That's the front. But on the rear, it says remove screws, clean the surface, wipe dry, place component, install screws. Doesn't say anything about don't reuse the original ones. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. It's craziness. The instructions. How do I follow the instructions? And again, for the rear, I did get screws for it, but I'm going to use what's already there. Also, you know, it says Volvo, it goes on the inside, but, you know, I'm not going to detail that. And it also says left hand, right hand, so you know which side it goes on. Alright, let's see if I can get those screws out, and I'll tell you how I did it because it's tight quarters and I'm not jacking up the car and taking the wheel off. Alright, looks like all my tools work. I can do it by hand. So that fit in there. And I could use a 3/8 ratchet. I have a socket and I have it going the wrong way. And it looks like there's enough of a gap where I could probably unscrew it all the way, or worst case, you know, get it out until it hits a tire and then do it by hand. Then I have my 1/4 inch. I have these for my 1/4 inch. And I can just go in there with my 1/4 inch, and there's plenty of room there to grab that screw. See, I had to use that little adapter to put that on there. Came with my kit. So it looks like pretty much everything works. I know on the S90 it was super tight. I almost took the wheel off, and also I had to go into the body and drill a hole and create a spot to put a clip in and a screw to hold a piece of the top internally, where this one doesn't, just uses those 3 screws. So let me get those out. So I'm finding that holding the ratchet and then turning it like this is the best way for me. And all 3 are out. Cleanup's a breeze. Actually, it's not. This is more of a fiber. The front was plastic. So, but I don't see too much dirt in there. Alright, of course the bumper's pretty flexible. We'll be able to line all that up again. Looks like, oh gosh, you can see dirt there already. Looks like I should be able to screw that in okay. It's interesting. So I didn't see any green screws in there, but they are in there. I'll show you. So they're attached to a 3rd piece. So there's the wheel well, the fender, and then there's a 3rd piece that holds the clip. Alright, that was fun. No, it wasn't. So I got all 3 started. It's best to lay on the ground and look up and get the bottom one started, because the wheel well cover, the wheel well flap here, it has a piece that bends back, so it basically has to be in position. You can't, unless you have x-ray eyes, you can't look and see the screw coming through the mud flap, the fender, the body, all at the same time to get into that clip back there. So that was fun. So I started down here, came up here, secured the top, got out from underneath the car, did the middle one. Now let's tighten her down. So, any way you can. Now remember, you're putting a metal screw into a piece of plastic, so you don't want to torque it down with He-Man strength and rip that plastic out of there. Alright, looks like the middle one, it's easier for me to hold it with my right hand and ratchet with my left. So, because, you know, fun stuff. Alright, that wasn't too bad, but I can't work at a dealership. I'd never make book time. So everything's just snug. Alright, we'll take a shot, show you what they look like. Okay, there we have the front, all installed. Hopefully that'll help save on cleaning up the car. Because, you know, the wife's going to want to go somewhere when it's raining. I mean, that's standard operating procedure. So there's the front. Let's see if I can shoot down the body a little better. Yeah, so the tire does stick out just a little bit. Now let's look at the rear. Okay, there's the rear. I should have painted that Volvo on there. I can't even see it. It's gonna be right in there. Hilarious. All right, well, that's pretty good. I see it does cover the outside of the tire over here, but that's okay. And another thing that makes these mud flaps nice is they have a drain channel. And it's actually tougher to see on the rear, but it does also curve up, and then the wheel well flap curves in, so it will accumulate and drip there. And then the front channel does look a little different, as I recall. Nope, it's different on the S90, but it's not different here. So it's the same thing, just have a catch area where it will accumulate and then drip down. So anyway, those are the mud flap installations. Super easy. The rear, you just need patience. Front, ridiculously easy. So anyway, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching.